Hello, everybody, and welcome to Whiskey and a Movie. I am your host, AJ, and as always, I am joined by my dad, Jeff Fryer. And tonight, we are going to be reviewing the new Turner Classic Movies book, Noir Bar. And go ahead and show him what it looks like.
It's a great book. Lots of information on movies, and they've paired a companion cocktail to go with each one. So we viewed a few movies and drank a few cocktails, and we're going to tell you what we think.
And I think a lot of audiences would consider noirs to be the original psychological thrillers. I can see that.
Okay. I can agree with you.
So what is the first one we're going to be trying?
Well, the first one that we're going to mention is a simple one. It is the Phantom Lady. The Phantom Lady is a movie from 1944 with Ella Raines as a spunky secretary, Carol Richmond, nicknamed Kansas. And she works for a man who gets himself in a bad situation. And maybe we'll share a little bit more. You're fine, man.
Yeah.
You're fine. You're cool. But don't want to spoil the picture for you, but it's pretty good. Let's just say that the Phantom Lady is about this man who has his night out with his wife canceled because she didn't feel like going out. He finds himself in a bar. Always a good place to be. He meets a lady who also is kind of blue and depressed, and she agrees to go to a very popular nightclub show with him if he agrees to her terms and never knows her name, which kind of a, I don't know if I'd do that, but he did it, and then finds himself in a whole heap of trouble trying to find her. Well, he ends up getting sent to prison.
Right.
And he is his secretary that we mentioned, whose nickname is Kansas, all the places they went together, and the bartender swears they never saw him. The people at the nightclub or the floor show place, they swear they've never seen him. So his secretary, she goes in and she just kind of stakes out the bar. Okay. She sits down at the end of the bar, orders her a drink and nurses evening. And then, she kind of breaks, the bartender's nerve. And what did she order when she went in there?
A dimple and a pinch.
Well, a dimple, pinch, and water.
Dimple, pinch, and water.
Yeah. And so she just said pinch and water, but it is the dimple pinch. This is, it was amazing to me to go back and visit this one.
Well, have you ever seen it?
Oh, yeah. I have seen it. I've had it. I have this wonderful antique bottle to me by a friend, and I tell you,
that's a beautiful bottle.
It is really special. But I'm trying to remember if it was in the notes that are in the Noir Bar or whether it was somewhere else. But oh, yes, it was in Noir Bar. This bottle is so distinctive. You see, it's three-sided, and not only three-sided, but it's pinched in. That the triangular bottle encasing in fine netting with dimples on each of its three sides is so distinctive, in fact, that in 1958, it was the first liquor bottle to be trademarked in the United States.
And that
is the first bottle to be trademarked. You know, I mean, today we've got all these bottles that are special and symbolic and they're unique. You my mind immediately goes to tequila with Casa Azul and Patron. They've got their own distinctive bottles that nobody else really in the market uses. So this one was a good choice. We really enjoyed the movie, and I think we enjoyed the cocktail.
I think this is probably one of my favorite movies of the lot that we selected to review in this. I just think this had the overall stronger story than the other two. Even though I think we'll talk about another one that's probably in higher regard in most people's opinion. But I really enjoyed The Phantom Lady because of the acting, the
story.
Yeah,
the story was very good.
The story and the acting was good, especially in the two leads. The main actor really gave a strong performance, along with the Phantom Lady.
Yeah, this is one. I'm kind of surprised this hadn't been remade.
Yeah, with how much is getting remade, I'm surprised. Yeah.
Well, I mean, one of the movies in here is one that we'd already seen before, Nightmare Alley.
Yeah,
we saw both the original and the remake. There are just so many of these good movies in this book.
Right. Yeah.
With some excellent cocktails. Now, some of the cocktails, like Pension Water, she ordered in the movie. It did not have to be.
It was not
pulled out of thin air or made up by the author of the book. It was actually referenced right in the movie. You see her order it. You see her drink it. It
kind of goes hand in hand with the movie, I suppose. And what do you get on the palate of this?
This is just, folks, this is incredibly smooth. I think one of the reasons why it's still a very affordable 15-year-old Scotch.
Oh, wow. 15-year-old?
15 years old Scotch. It is just so smooth. But right now, it seems that people are searching for that peat, the peaty taste.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not unpeated, but the peat is not hitting you in the roof of your mouth. This is a smooth,
it is
nice.
And like most cocktails, it doesn't linger on you a whole lot. That's why you can always just keep going back to it. It's really smooth, and it's not that difficult to make, is it?
No, just the recipe calls for. Where'd I go? Lost my page.
There you go.
3 ounces of Dimple Pinch Scotch whiskey and a splash of water.
So it doesn't take like a whole lot of like some other cocktails.
No, not like some of the ones we tried. Some of the ones we tried were a bit complicated.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find it. The one with the blackberries.
Yeah, that one was. Yeah. That one was difficult, but it was one of the better cocktails in here too.
Yeah, you did enjoy it.
Well, I enjoyed it. How did you enjoy it? Yeah. Not surprising.
Not so much. Gosh, there's just so many in here to choose from. It really is.
It's an amazing book.
It's an amazing book. The artwork in here is great. The behind the scenes stories are great. This is like, if you've watched Turner Classic Movies and you've listened to the
like Ben Mankiewicz.
Yes.
Yes.
So the name of the cocktail was The Blacklisted. And we watched that. The movie was called The Force of Evil.
And that was another great one too.
Yeah, it was. It was an interesting tale.
I don't know how many times I would watch it, but it was good for, being introduced to it.
And the reason the author of the book paired it with the cocktail called Blacklisted is because of the anti-communist hysteria that gripped the nation and this film was one, the movie makers had belonged to the Communist Party of the United States of America, and this was one that saw some of the people involved with it blacklisted. So we had the blacklisted cocktail, and the blacklisted cocktail is 4 blackberries muddled, 1 3/4 ounces of rye whiskey, 3/4 ounce of lemon juice, 3/4 ounces of honey, and a garnish of blackberry.
Now, that was what I really enjoyed, but we're not going to make every cocktail from the book from this. So
we're not.
But we can recommend our favorites on the one we've at least tried.
Well, and quite honestly, I'm going to, as we sit here, have you finished your dimple pinch yet?
Just about finished, yeah.
I don't think we've watched this. Humphrey Bogart and Gloria Graham. In a Lonely Place.
We have not watched In a Lonely Place, no.
Well, In a Lonely Place is paired with a cocktail called the Horse's Neck. And to me, the Horse's Neck is about as simple as it gets. It's bourbon or rye and ginger ale to fill your glass. So, and when you finish, I'll pour you one.
And, for our show, it is, of course, whiskey and a movie, so we mainly try to stick to the
whiskey cocktails.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be true to our
show.
But there are lots of great cocktails in here besides the whiskey cocktail.
Like, even if you hate whiskey, they have the gimlet in there.
Gimlet's in here. The Stinger, which is, cognac and cream de mint.
Interesting color.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah. And I think one of these, the Pearl Diver, that's a good tiki cocktail. And somewhere I saw, the Crimson Kimono I made for you.
Yeah, I was not really a fan of that. I don't know if I wasn't a fan of that per se, but it was just like a different taste that I'm usually used
to. And it was paired with the movie, The Crimson Kimono,
which I could not find.
Okay, well.
So if anybody can let us know how to find that one, please let us know and we will watch it.
And it was Japanese whiskey, 3/4 ounce Bruto Americano. Oh yeah, this had the
ginger,
Domaine de Canton ginger liqueur, Campari, a ginger slice, fresher pickled. It was spicy. It's spicy,
and I think it was maybe the ginger that night that just, even though I love spicy stuff and I love spicy foods, some reason ginger has kind of a different
impact on you.
It has a different taste, I would say.
So back to the Phantom Woman,
Phantom Lady.
What'd you like about it most?
I would say the chemistry between the two leads are really something special, I think, in that.
Now, who would you call the lead? Because the secretary, Kansas, yes, she was there in most of the movie, and she had to visit her boss in prison.
Yeah.
I mean, so
her boss
was he the lead, or was his best friend who took her in? Would you call him the lead, the male lead?
I wouldn't call him the lead. The guy who went to the bar or to that popular nightclub with the Phantom Lady. I would call those two the lead.
All right, so he was the guy who went to prison.
Yes,
he went to the prison, and I would say you're right that he was. But even on the billing, he's listed. Alan Curtis is listed as third. Franco Tone, who was the artist who took in and tried to help the secretary, he's listed as he's billed first.
Well, they had a lot of great sub characters in there too, I think.
Oh yeah, I mean the Phantom Lady herself pulled off quite a bit,
and with all the sub characters in the subplot, it didn't feel bloated. Like feel bloated. Like, we didn't really need that subplot going on during the whole thing.
And who was the detective? The detective had a big role in this too. He was there. He kind of tried to be
I mean, this is what you would really call like an ensemble cast, because everybody had a great part. Everybody was big in it. It was not like an extended cameo part like we see in most ensemble cast movies in the modern era right now.
And the other thing about this is there were no great big names.
No, it had a true indie feel to the noir scene, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It did.
All right, so
we're going to do The Horse's Neck. The Horse's Neck, like I mentioned, is tied to Humphrey Bogart in a lonely place. In a lonely place. It is. Well, come on. There we go.
Don't spill it now.
No, it's too good to spill.
Right, Uncle Nearest. Ooh.
So we've got Uncle Nearest, rye, clocking in at 123 proof.
That's just about where we like it. That and above. Hold on, I can. All right, there we go. That sizzle. And, we're not really cocktail people when we drink.
No, we tend to be straight up on the rocks.
I used to have whiskey sours all the time, but as I grew to drink a lot more stuff, I tend to agree with you. I don't want to cheapen my good drink with it. Or, I'd rather just focus on what got me here.
Well, yeah.
Got it.
I'm drinking this in honor of the cocktail that's in the book, but I think I'd rather have the Uncle Nearest straight up.
I think I would too, because, well, guys, if you don't realize how fast Uncle Nearest has become so popular, they have a really great story behind it.
Yeah, and Uncle Nearest is, I believe Uncle Nearest is the fastest growing whiskey brand in America.
Oh, yeah.
And got some very savvy people behind them. And Fern Wheeler's husband. And so it feels right.
Yeah.
To have Uncle Nearest here on Whiskey in a Movie.
And I remember when we went to go visit them in Tennessee, I talked to our tour guide for a little bit, and I got a contact information for that person who was a movie exec. And you're like, what were you doing? I was like, well, I'm trying to network with Infamous Horror, and because I think they were an executive producer at Sony Pictures, I think.
Yes. You talked to them more than I did, so.
And so it just feels right.
I'm all about the whiskey.
Yeah, I am too, but
you got this movie thing on the side.
Yep. And well, you got.
So what do you think?
Well, this is very good. I like this cocktail. And now, what are some other cocktails in there that we haven't tried that you were like, because you can spend about, honestly, 6 or 7 months on this book.
Well, yeah, I mean, there is
Pitfall, it seems like.
Pitfall was one of the ones that I think I would put on our list. That's Dick Powell, Elizabeth Scott, and Jane Wyatt.
Oh.
Jane Wyatt, the first wife of Ronald Reagan. Pitfall comes with a Bobby Burns, which is an ounce and a half of Scotch whiskey, an ounce and a half of sweet vermouth, 3 dashes of Benedictine, and a lemon peel twist. And for you movie buffs, they recommend serving it in a chilled Nick and Nora glass. Come on, you know who Nick and Nora is. The Thin Man.
Okay.
With Asta.
Oh, yeah.
The dog. Asta the dog.
Yeah. For some, I'm such a movie buff, I was actually thinking of Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist.
Well, no. Nick and Nora, they were somewhat, they were part of the Noir scene. The movie was The Thin Man and The Thin Man Returns.
Oh yeah, now I remember. Yeah. They had that whole
The
trilogy thing.
Thin Man thing. Yeah. And they were drinking all the time.
So overall, what do you think of the book? Because I really enjoyed this book because it introduced us to movies we haven't seen, and you didn't even talk about the Asphalt Jungle, which you love.
I'm sorry, but yes, there are so many movies in here. There are so many cocktails in here. I'd highly recommend this book for somebody who wanted to find a way to spend
I think it would be like $25 in a store. I think that's not what DRSP or something is 25.
It's listed as 26.
You're
close.
Yeah,
you're close. So this is a book that would give you lots of thoughts and ideas for how to spend those Sunday afternoons or those rainy evenings. Nothing like a good thunderstorm in the dark of the night to watch a noir film.
Yeah.
So get this and get some cocktail pairings. It's a great book. I'm very impressed.
Eddie Muller did a fantastic job curating this list.
Yep, Eddie Muller, and he is with Turner Classic Movies. So some of these movies I think we found are free on YouTube.
I don't know how often we want to publicize that, but yeah,
we found them.
Yeah, some. Can be.
People are finding more. People are finding those movies than are finding these spots by us.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But yeah, it's a really good book, and you know what? Next, Eddie Muller, if you just happen to be listening, because I will send this out to the PR people at Turner Classic Movies to hopefully send this out to you. I would really love this kind of same concept with modern noirs and neo-noirs, including David Lynch's Mulholland Drive and Angel Heart, starring Mickey Rourke and Robert De Niro and Lisa Bonet. I would really love a contemporary Noir Bar book.
Well, I liked the book because it gave me lots of great insight and reference.
Yes.
It allowed me to pull my dusty dimple pinch bottle off the shelf and refill it. The new bottle has like gold wire netting around the bottle. It's still a very neat bottle, and
neat. You're being modest.
And it's 15-year-old Scotch, less than $40 a bottle. It's
that's hard to find.
I hate to say this, but it might be my favorite Scotch right now.
Why would you hate to say that? If it's your favorite, you should just go ahead and say it. Yell it out if it's your favorite.
Because
say it.
I want people to think I've got expensive taste.
Okay, Bernie. The Jack Black movie with Matthew McConaughey and he was the lead actor.
Oh, I thought you were going to spend the weekend with me.
No. You're not that comfortable.
A weekend at Bernie's?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But you're not that dead yet, so.
Closer every day.
So, okay, what's your overall grade of the book? Would you say it's imperfect, or would?
I don't know that I would say it's perfect,
because perfect is
a pretty high bar.
Yeah,
but I was very pleased with this book. I was entertained with this book. I can find myself going back to this book time and time again. So this is a book you could have on your bookshelf next to all your cocktail manuals, next to Death and Company, next to everything.
That's a very good idea. You know, you can even have it next to your cookbooks too if you on that kind of
Well, yeah, I keep my cocktail books and my cookbooks different
separate.
places.
Yeah,
But this to me is a great resource for when you can't decide what you want to watch. Whether you've got you're on a new date,
right,
old date. This gives you lots of ideas.
Oh, you know what?
And
It can be like a breath of fresh air to your drinking too if you're tired of drinking the same old thing.
Absolutely. Although your mother loves a gimlet, and
Yeah.
it's just possible that one weekend afternoon we might make gimlets and watch the movie that's associated with it.
You know what? That may be a good idea. And what movie is that for people that might be listening?
I don't know. Do we have an index?
Yeah, it should be in the very beginning of the book.
The very beginning?
There should be like a list of pages like that. There you go.
Okay. Oh, The Big Sleep. Oh, The Big Sleep. The Big Sleep's a famous movie.
Well, what do you look at that, folks?
Is it? Isn't The Big Sleep a big famous movie? Because it's Bogart and Bacall.
Well, why don't you go show them the page of that? That looks very cool. And the illustration in this book is fantastic.
Yeah, like I said earlier, the artwork is wonderful. This is a great book.
You know, I said illustration, and I instantly went to a Casey Affleck scene in Chasing Amy. We're like, Scott Moser, the guy who produces film.
Watch it.
You watched it with me a couple times, Chasing Amy. It's right there with Ben Affleck and Chasing Amy.
I know.
And they're like,
I was present,
but you weren't watching it. Understandable.
Watch it.
Okay.
I was drinking.
And until next time, that has been Whiskey and a Movie. We have had a lot of fun times with this Noir Bar book, and I hope you all have. If you go search it, this can be available online at Amazon, Walmart, Target, or Barnes and Noble, and anywhere that pretty much sells books. And I would recommend the paperback because there's just a difference to me when it comes to having something in your hands than on Amazon Kindle.
Yeah.
There's just something more to it.
The photography, the artwork, like I said, in this book, looking at it on your smartphone is not going to do you justice.
No, it's not. And then you're always going to have to go open that app and go look for the Amazon Kindle app on your phone or tablet and scroll through it. And it's just not as easy, and it's not just the same.
All right. So after this is over, can we watch The Lady from Shanghai? And it's paired with Sailor Beware. Sailor Beware is 1 1/4 ounces of Irish whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
1/4 ounces brandy. 1/2 ounce green chartreuse. 1/2 ounce. Oh, you don't like the Canton ginger liqueur.
I can have it. I'm just like...
Another wonderful thing that happens, an absinthe rinse. You know, absinthe is like the licorice.
Yeah.
And you put a little bit in the glass, swirl it around, and pour it out. That is super.
And we've had...
So,
we can watch that, definitely.
I was reflecting on my Navy career earlier tonight at dinner, so...
yeah, you were kind of dating yourself.
Sailor Beware. Sailor Beware looks like that's our next choice.
And everybody, thank you so much for watching and your continuing support of this show, Whiskey and a Movie. It kind of brought a smile to my dad's face so much that for my birthday, he custom made a couple of t-shirts for us. And I don't know how well you can see this with the light going on, but it's Whiskey and a Movie t-shirts that we now have. So guys, thank you so much. And until next time, we'll see you then.
Happy drinking.